videos today because I didn't get to do my two I wanted to do yesterday. Anyways, today I'm gonna be doing the history of Turkey. It's actually the biggest Islamic country, not like in size, but in popularity. You might thought it was either Saudi Arabia or Indonesia even, but nope, it's Turkey. Anyways, let's begin. Many Islamic people are trying to conquer Turkey, and first they are building mosques. These are the three most famous ones. Uh, I don't know why they look identical. Well, that was the only one boys could use, really. Anyways, they've taken for nearly the entirety of Turkey. They've, the Turkish only kept the southern part of this tiny island. For most of the southern part of Greece and Cyprus. Oh, and also they still also have they actually have the entirety of the island and still the entirety of Greece and doesn't have the entirety of Cyprus and still has some of their land they have today. Anyways, these two countries are fighting and this one wins. And now this guy becomes a Muslim. They stop this fight and make friends. And now these two countries are fighting. The Turkish have taken over more land. And now the Turkish have given swords to the Muslims. And now the Turkish and the Muslims decide to fight. Oh, Greece is actually independent, by the way, sorry. Anyways, they're trying to fight the Greeks. The Turkish and the Muslims won! Well, the Muslims didn't do any help, really. The Turkish and the Muslims won another battle. And now this little area is still independent. Even though it's connected to the Turkish Empire. Now these two countries decide to give the Muslims and the Turkish people the money. And they get aboard on the ship with the money and take it back home. And now they've won. The Turkish and Muslims have the Turkish have won against the Greeks, the Macedonians. This looks like the Albanians, but I don't think it's the Albanians. It must be a different empire. And this empire right here. And they've taken all the loot again. And now a Christian is looking out the window and they see the Turkish with their money. Now it's the Turkish versus the Catholic Christians. And the Turkish win again. And also takes some part of Ukraine. The little area, which I think is actually Constantinople, tries to tell the Christians that the Turkish want to take over the land. They start to think they should try to that they will make a mosque and they get rid of it. And the Turkish win again. And again. And now they're fighting for Venice. They win again. Venice is actually now disconnected from the rest of the empire. And now the Turkish are actually fighting the Albanians now. They still win! And win again! Now they're fighting Rus, and they decide to give them the money, and they take all of it and take it to Adrianople. And now the rest of the empires take the money to Adrianople, and now the French become friends with the Turkish. And now the Ottoman Empire begins and starts conquering many lands. It borders. But some lands it doesn't border. They also take them. And now the Ottomans take the money from the French. And the French have no reaction actually. And now the Turkish are polishing their swords. And now for people of France, the Holy Roman Empire, and for Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth are looking at them sternly. And the Catholics are getting ready for battle. For the first time, the Ottomans used guns. And also, for the first time in the video, they lost a war. Also, quoted by Staple Master, the CountryBalls Master, Staples for the video. Anyways, now that the Russians and the Turkish have made a peace deal, the Phoenicians, the Holy Roman Empire people, and the Persian Commonwealth people are all happy. And now the Russians push the Swedish king out of their land. And the Swedish tell the Ottomans a secret. And now the Ottomans go to the sea to Russia. And they have a fight. And the Ottomans win! The Turkish decide to go here, and they win another battle. And now the Ottomans fight Austria-Hungary, and they take some land from it. And now the Turkish and the Russians have yet another war. The Russians take lots of the Ottoman Empire, including, and now the Italians just punch the Ottomans. And now the Ottomans are scared of the Bosnians, Serbians, the Greeks, and the Bulgarians. Now, all four of them become friends in the UK, and the Ottomans look abroad. No reaction comes to their mind. Anyways, all of them have become bigger, which makes the Ottomans scared. And the Germans have decided to fight Russia. And now, the Caucasus, either the Georgians or the Palestinians and the Syrians are fighting for Ottomans. And I was sorry for Ottomans versus the Syrian sect. And we have no idea who won all three of the battles. And now the Russians and the Soviets take lots and lots of land from the Russian Empire. And the Soviets and the Ottomans have a peace deal in the Ottoman Empire. And they've got the rifles, the flamethrowers, and I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but it looks like a can of cheese or something. Is it or even soap? And now Constantinople has changed its name to Istanbul, the most famous city in Turkey. And now the no Germans are fighting for Soviets. And the Turkish looks surprised about this. And now confused. And the Turkish look again. And now they view the exact opposite this time. The Soviets defeat the no Germans. they throw a spear that doesn't one knows him, and and the same for and also one at Japan, and now the Turkish one, Ottomans once again the Turkish once again a group photo of the British, the French, the Soviets, and the Americans, but they actually succeeded, but it was a bit blurry, and now the French, the Germans, and the Italians disagree that Turkey should join the European Union. And now the Turkish and Northern Cyprus. I don't know what this is. This is Russian, right? And I'm English, so I don't understand it. Anyways, they give the sign. They hold up the sign to the Turkish on the mainland. This might actually be for Northern Cyprus to become an independent country, and for Turkish disagreed. And now it's the Iraqis versus the Turkish. Neither of them won, or a draw. And now they are all, and now in recent years, they are all talking about Serbia having Kosovo. Since Greece likes Serbia having Kosovo, the Turkish obviously don't like Kosovo as an independent country because the Greeks and the Turkish are obviously one of the biggest enemies in most famous enemy relationships in Europe. Anyways, here's a bonus clip.
War. War never changes. What war are you talking about? About the Vietnam War. That's really funny considering that
They are explaining about the Vietnamese war, basically, in either the home or in the office job area or in a coffee shop. And here we can see the Soviets, the Canadians, the French, the Spanish, the Swedish, the British, and the Portuguese. The Swedish become friends with the Portuguese and the British. And these all countries are all happy. And now, even the enemies, both Argentina and UK are angry at Spain, or are angry at each other because of the Falkland Islands. Either way, Spain is scared.
Neutral countries between them will be unable to supply weapons, and some other countries will automatically become allies of one of the sides. So in fact, war doesn't benefit anyone. As for the Vietnam,
and now, here is a representation of the Vietnam War. The US on the South Vietnamese side and the Soviets on the North Vietnamese side. And here is the North Vietnamese have grown some bamboos for pandas. Yes, Vietnam does have pandas. China isn't the only country with pandas. Well, except for exports, China is the only country who has giant pandas. Vasa, did you know about China? Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe to both of my channels. This one and my other one called A Sense of History 2. Oh, and also subscribe and watch my videos on my channel because I want to get to 100 subs and not 3,000, not 4,000, but 5,000 views just to challenge you at home. I'm not forcing, but if you want to, you can. Bye everyone! See you if you miss from the Wild Wagon video.